Welcome all to our next class. We are in second module of ethical hacking subject, and we had discussed various methods used for ethical hacking. That means steps involved in ethical hacking. Ethical hacking or a hacking, it starts with footprinting. That means collecting related and useful information of a company where the hacker and wants to attack or ethical hacker wants to protect. And under the footprinting subtopic, we saw many web tools used for collecting the information, and the competitive intelligence, that is another tool or a method used for the same purpose. Now we are going to see what is DNS zone transfer. As all of you know, this DNS, it stands for domain name service or server, which is an unavoidable service uh, in cyber world, whose main duty is to convert URLs into IP address and back from IP address to URL. URLs are convenient for we human users, and IP address, that is a convenient notation used by the computers. So a translation is inevitable. Now we will see what is DNS zone. Is DNS, that directory is divided into various zones, manageable areas. It's a administrative, it's a area, it's a one part of the DNS which is managed by a administrator or an organization. For example, we can say that uh, the DNS, it follows a hierarchical structure. That means it is like a tree. So it starts at a root. There will be a root level directory, then under which you can see many top level domains. You might be knowing that knowing various examples of top level domains. That means .com, .org, .gov, .in, etc. All these are various available top level domains in cyber world. Now if you want to access google.com, this google.com, it is coming under .com top level directory. So under .com node we have google.com, and suppose that we have one more subdirectory which is used for English, uh, which provides English language support. That means en.google.com, maybe the uh, full URL that is used for searching in Google using English. Similarly, we may have another domain, namely mail.google.com for Malayalam support, and so on. So under this google.com, we have one more we have two more, for example, two more children. One is en.google.com, another one is mail.google.com. uh, so at the root level we have a directory under which we have a top level directory, that is .com. Now under which we have google.com, again under which as children of this google.com we have en.google.com and mail.google.com. So all these nodes are considered as zones. So there will be an authority who takes control of this en.google.com, and similar another one taking control of my mail.google.com, and there will be a supreme authority for handling the details of google.com, and a governing party for taking necessary security measures or uh, managing measures for .com, TDL. All these are zones. Now we are going to tell about DNS zone transfer attacks. How attackers makes use of these DNS zones, or what attackers will do with this DNS zone. So before that, we have to understand what is DNS zone transfer and what is the need of it. Now, as the name suggests, DNS zone transfer. That means one zone is transferred from one server to another. You may be knowing that servers of Google may be running under many servers. There would be many servers taking care of this google.com web page in the server room. They may be having one primary server, many secondary servers, some extra servers for load balancing or for error recovery purposes. So only a single server may not be handling the web page of Google. There will be many other servers too for supporting purposes. Therefore, whenever a new server comes or the existing server is under repair of it, or if it is not working properly, then we may need to install one more server, so that the content of the damaged one will be transferred to the new one, or whenever we introduce a new one, we may have to transfer certain zones from different existing servers for balancing the workload. So these two may be the reasons behind a zone transfer. And another reason is that whenever an updation happens, whenever an updation in the DNS happens, then the same updation should be reflected in all the supporting servers also. So periodically this zone transfer may happen as and when changes happens in the primary domain server. So this is zone transfer. Information is replicated in another server also, maybe for balancing the load, or maybe to recover from failures. Anyway, that is for good purpose. That is a inevitable task itself. In order to get updated, this zone transfer is necessary. Now what the attacker, or what an ethical hacker should think about this zone transfer is that, and after getting these DNS zones, what an hacker will do with it. It is a great threat that if a hacker has the DNS information, because on getting the detailed information regarding a DNS server maintained by a company, then the entire company is under threat. The attacker can do anything with that. No proper functioning will happen in the actual server. The hacker will be editing the details entered in the DNS, so that he can redirect all the requests to the genuine server to his or her malicious server. So that entire control will be in the hands of hackers. The entire functioning will be compromised. So such a dangerous situation should never happen. So ethical hackers should always pay maximum attention on not happening this kind of DNS zone transfer attack. So it's a zone transfer. It's a way of gathering information when footprinting a network is through domain name system, and we know the importance of DNS. DNS uses using name servers to resolve names. After you determine what name server a company is using, you can attempt to transfer all the records for which the DNS server is responsible. One main tool used for this purpose, this one important web tool, dig command. Okay, we have seen just a summary of the dig command previously when we discussed various web tools used for footprinting. Now, to determine a company's primary DNS server, you can look for a DNS server containing a start of authority record. This is one important record, or a in piece of information that we can see in every DNS servers, name servers. Start of authority record. It contains all the primary information related to a name server. That means name of the server, name of the administrator. Similarly, the version number of SOA. That means whenever a change happens, then the SOA version will be changed. So, looking at the version of the SOA record, other servers can understand whether a change has been happened in primary server or not. So this is the main one of the important record or a piece of information that we use with along with the DNS. So a record shows for which zones or IP addresses the DNS server is responsible. So after getting this information, the hacker can do anything. After you determine the primary DNS server, you can perform other zone transfers to see all host computers on the company network. Similarly, zone transfer give you another organization's network diagram. So by understanding the entire networking hierarchy of a company, the hacker can easily find out the pinpoint the loopholes, and he can try for a attack with the maximum success rate. So that's all about DNS on transfer. It is one of the most dangerous type of attack, or one of the most strong method used by hackers to collect information regarding a company. Now, next method is social engineering. We will discuss it in the next video.